Hey there, how are you? This is Michael Williams, founder of the Start Speaking Training Center. And in our last webinar, in the Pro 90D Live webinar series, I had someone ask me, said, Michael, we know that confidence, self-confidence is very important to speaking well. It's very important to a lot of things, right? But it's very important to speaking well. So how can we develop and kind of build or maintain self-confidence? Now, I've dealt with this in at least a couple of other videos. In the 21 Steps videos, we've dealt with self-confidence, maintaining or building and maintaining self-confidence. And also in the Power Coach approach, we did a whole entire session on self-confidence. But I want to maybe share with you at a slightly deeper level, a broader level, maybe from a different perspective of what self-confidence is, but more importantly, why it's important and how you can build it, how you can develop it and keep it. I've received several, and many actually, comments and emails from people who said that now watch this, that just by watching the videos, it gave them hope, but also gave them confidence, and that they spoke well immediately after. Now, how can this be? How can it be that someone can watch a video and feel better and feel more confident and actually speak well? How can that possibly be? Well, not only is it possible, but it's also likely. It's a principle. And what we're going to be looking at in the next few videos is how you can develop and build and maintain self-confidence for yourself. That's how you can use this as a system to building and maintaining self-confidence, because self-confidence is critical to you, listen, speaking well. When you feel more confident about yourself in general and about your ability to speak and communicate, chances are you're going to speak better, and you're probably going to speak well, right? So when you feel more confident, you're going to speak well. So let's take a look in this first session, in this first video on self-confidence. We're going to take a look at really two aspects. I'm going to mention two aspects of self-confidence, and then we're going to talk about the first one in this video and the second one in another video. I may have to break this up into at least 2, 3, maybe 4 videos. I'll try to keep it as short as possible, whatever that means. But when we look at self-confidence, we're talking about, now listen, we're talking about feeling self-confident and being self-confident. Feeling self-confident or feeling confident and then being confident. They're very much related, but we can distinguish between the two. So, and there is some overlap, and we'll talk about the overlap either today or in the next video. So let's take a look at then how can we start to feel more self-confident? How can we feel more? Because if you feel confident, chances are, as many of you have experienced, when you feel confident, then you perform more confidently, right? You speak well when you feel more confident. So how can you develop or build this feeling, this kind of sense of being or of feeling self-confident? Well, you can start to feel more confident, and I may say confident or self-confident, feel more confident when you think more confidently, right? When you think more confidently, you're probably going to feel more confident. So how can we then have more confident thoughts? And what are confident thoughts? What's the content of these confident thoughts? What do they look like? What do they feel like, if you will? And where do we get them from? How do we get these confident thoughts going through our brains, going through our minds, and how do we keep them there? Well, it's simple in a sense, and it's difficult as well. So we can build and maintain this feeling of confidence by having confident thoughts. Where do we get these confident thoughts? We get these confident thoughts from what we say to ourselves, right? What we say to ourselves. And I'm going to go back and kind of explain each of these. What we say to ourselves, what others say to us, and what we experience. What we say to ourselves, what others say to us, and what we experience. So let's start with what we say to ourselves. We're always thinking. And when we're thinking, these thoughts, the content of these thoughts, are actually what we're saying to ourselves. It's kind of our self-talk, if you will. So when we're thinking something, we're actually talking to ourselves. Now we can talk to ourselves aloud, or we can specifically say, well, Michael, you did this. We can use affirmations, if you will. Or we can just have thoughts about something or impressions. But that's also a way that we're communicating with ourselves. It's a way we're talking to ourselves. Okay? So it doesn't just have to be an affirmation that you write down or that you say, or even an affirmation that you think. It can also just be thoughts that you're having. It's a way that you're impressing something upon your mind. Not just your conscious mind, but your subconscious mind. So what we say to ourselves can determine our confidence, right? Now, I'm not going to deal with this part right now, but in another video we'll talk about the content of what we say to ourselves. That is, what can we say to ourselves to build those confident or thoughts of self-confidence. But for right now, let's just look at what you say to yourself, either through affirmations, even negative affirmations. What you think about are ways that you are developing these thoughts or feelings of self-confidence. The second thing, what other people say to you. Well, how can I change or control what other people say? Aha. Watch this. Whatever you listen to, whatever you watch on TV or videos on your phone or your iPad or whatever you listen to, whatever you think, whatever conversations you engage in, right? So whatever you're listening to when someone's talking to you about something impacts your self-confidence. So what you have to do is control what you're listening to, what you're hearing, what you're seeing. Does that make sense? So if someone can watch a video and feel more self-confident, then they can actually take that experience and use it strategically, use it as a process or a system. Well, if I can watch this video, if it can make me feel more self-confident and make me and help me speak better, then maybe I ought to watch more videos. They don't have to be my videos, it can be anyone's videos that helps you feel more self-confident, that doesn't go against your belief system and so forth. But I need to watch more videos. I need to listen to more audio that does that. Does that make sense? So you can use it as a process, as a system. You can use it strategically. And what you're doing then is you are, now listen, you're controlling what's coming into your ears, right? And everything that you listen to and everything that you watch impacts how you think and how you feel about yourself. So if a person's listening to music that's depressing, right? It's about, breaking up with somebody, or it's about, hurting somebody or losing something or doing. I'm not saying you shouldn't listen to that music or can't. That's up to you. But what I'm saying is everything you listen to, everything you watch is either helping you or hurting you. It's not keeping you where you are. It's either moving you forward or moving you backwards. This may mean watching less TV. Right? Some people spend 5, 6, 7, 8 hours watching TV. What are you watching? Some people spend a lot of time listening to all different kinds of music. What are you listening to? Is whatever you're watching and whatever you're listening to helping you? Is it building your self-esteem? Is it building your self-confidence? Is it educating you? Does it make you feel good? I like listening to jazz music. I like Latin jazz music. I like salsa music. I like all different kinds of music. But I make sure that I'm monitoring what I'm listening to. I like watching TV. I make sure that I monitor that I don't do too much of it, because it's either moving me forward or pulling me back. Very, very, very important. So you can control what people say to you, because you can control what you're listening to. You can also control the people that you associate with in the conversations you have, right? So if you're talking to people that are putting you down, that are pulling you down, that are not helping you feel confident about yourself and your possibilities, then I'm not saying you should definitely get away from them, because it could be a family member, it could be a husband, wife, brother, sister, mother. So you may have to just limit your conversations with them. Limit what you allow yourself to take in or hear from them. Does that make sense? Because You are 100% responsible for your development, for your life. Not your family, not anyone else. Ultimately, it's going to be up to you to be responsible for building your self-confidence, for becoming an excellent speaker. It's totally up to you. Your family may help, your friends may help, other people may help, but ultimately it's going to be up to you to even do the work, to even accept the help. So, people that you're hanging around and what you talk about and what you hear from them impacts how you feel about yourself. It impacts this feeling of self-confidence. What else? What about experiences? Talk about experience. Let's do a little review. What was the first thing that affects our feeling of self-confidence, how we can feel more self-confident? One is what we say to ourselves, right? We're talking about our thoughts in general, but what we say to ourselves, okay, what we think, what others say to us, what we watch, what we listen to, conversations we engage in. And then third is what we experience, okay? And this is where the overlap comes in. Remember in the beginning I said there will be some overlap between feeling self-confident and being self-confident. And in the next video or the one after that, we'll talk about how to be self-confident. So this is where the overlap comes in. Well, friends, if this video was helpful, go ahead and like it. Leave a comment. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Twitter. +1 it. Google Plus it. Do everything you can do to share it and to get it out. Because remember, this isn't just for people who stutter. It's for people who just want to improve their speech. Some people may have a fear of public speaking, but we want to get this out. We want to share it with as many people as possible. And so go ahead and get it out. Do what you need to do to get it out. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Don't forget, look forward to also seeing you in our next Pro 90D live webinar. So I'll see you next time. Thank you.